Hey y'all, it's me, Candace, and I'd like to welcome you to the Candace Effect. If this is your first time joining me here, welcome. This is a place where you will be seen, heard, and possibly changed, meaning that the conversations that we might have, you might feel comfortable with, but when you leave, you might feel different. But if you're not new here, hey, you already know what we do here. Okay, I have to tell you guys, yesterday was my birthday. I'm celebrating my birthday and I'm so excited. I have been meaning to come and record. I didn't do it last week. So, like, this is episode 11 officially. I took a week off. Did you guys miss me? I'm not sure. However, you know how I talk about like self care and taking a pause for yourself. And I always talk about how, it's okay to let the mess stay and come back to it later. I had to do something for myself. I had to pause for myself, clear my space, give myself time to breathe, and just come back. I needed that break. And I needed that reality for life to be lifing and me to be actively involved in what I needed to do for my life. When I get home, okay, the actual product of what took place when I took a break from filming was a whole new setup for my balcony. I cannot wait to show you guys what my new balcony looks like. So when I'm at home and I'm recording, it's like a little oasis. I needed to have that space for myself. The balcony was my thing. I record outside. Obviously, I'm outside. If you can't tell, I'm traveling again. It's my birthday. So I decided to come see my best friend and have a little girl time before I ended out the summer. So I'm in Philly, if you wanted to know. But the balcony is amazing. I want to know, like, get in the comments and tell me what you think about what do you think my balcony looks like. I'm excited to show it to you when we get home. Tell me what you've been doing for a week. Did you miss me? Say yes. Somebody tell me happy birthday because my birthday was really a thing. It was yesterday. I really enjoyed it. I was around my friends and my family, and I would really appreciate it. And I just took it in. Like 45 was a big thing for me. I'm excited about 46, if you didn't know. That's my age. I'm excited about it. Hello. 46 is a real thing for me. But I have something that I want to talk to you guys about. On my drive up here, I told you that my son is 5 years old and he is now of age. It's summertime. I want him to learn how to ride a bike. So, with that being said, are you okay with falling? My first child, when he started to learn how to ride a bike, my cousin came down and he wanted to show him how to ride a bike. Without my permission, he took the training wheels off my son's bike. I come outside, the training wheels are off the bike. He invited my son to come outside, like, come on, you're going to learn how to ride your bike. I feel like he was an appropriate age to learn how to ride a bike. So it wasn't like a bad idea for him to learn, but he was still definitely on training wheels, learning how to ride his bike. My cousin came down and he felt like he needed to have training wheels off without discussing it with me. He took his training wheels off and told my son to come outside. He puts him on the bike, and we have this alleyway down by my yard where he was running him and pushing him, literally pushing my son down the alley. How many times did my son fail? So many times to the point where I was getting frustrated. Like, okay, my baby is getting hurt. I'm done with this little thing where you're trying to teach him how to ride his bike. And I would watch Dominic wobble as he was riding his bike. And eventually he would catch himself balance, he would fall, he would get back up. And then when he got on his bike, finally, he learned how to pedal. And in him learning how to pedal, like he was wobbling all over the place. Learned how to ride his bike. I think it was maybe the whole entire weekend, or maybe it was just the day. He walked away a bike rider. Fast forward to Rainy 2 years ago. I remember it vividly. It was the day before my mom passed away, Father's Day, where we were outside, and Rainy had this beautiful bike that I had gotten her for Christmas, but she didn't know how to ride it because it was a big girl bike. Had training wheels on it, and just because we were busy, she didn't know how to ride a bike. We spent a lot of time outside to get away from the situation. We'll take the kids outside, go ride bikes, go roller skate, just kind of enjoy life. So I remember it vividly. It was Father's Day, and she had training wheels on her bikes. And training wheels, sometimes you can adjust them to be higher or lower on your bike. So she had the training wheels on her bike, and she's riding and she couldn't catch her balance, right? So something made me think, and it really hit me. Learning how to ride a bike is more so about balance than skill. So I took her training wheels off. I will never tell my cousin that he was right about this, but it really was more so about learning how to balance. So I took her training wheels off and I was trying to do the running behind her thing where I'm holding her on the bike and trying to teach her how to balance. But I had this little teeny, like, the little baby bikes. I took the pedals off of that didn't have any training wheels on it, but I took the pedals off of that bike and I let her ride on that bike and learn how to coast. So she's scooting along and coasted and we learned how to coast and eventually she learned how to balance. You already know how to balance. So then I took her off that bike and then put her on a big girl bike where she learned now that she knows how to balance, she needs to learn how to pedal. So that's where the running and pushing comes in. And she learned how to do it. Literally, this girl learned how to ride her bike in one day. I thought it was the most amazing thing. So I wanted to show people, like, show her sisters and brothers that don't live here. Rainey's learning how to ride a bike. So I sit my phone up. I'm looking at her on her thing. In the midst of her doing this, of course, she was falling down. One at a time, she ran into the sidewalk, and I walked over to her and told her, like, hey, listen, I know this is hard. You're getting it. This is your first day trying this and you're doing really good. So I gave her words of encouragement. And then, sure enough, by the end of the night, by the time the sun was going down, the girl was riding her bike. What I took away from that, when it was time for now a seventh turn to learn how to ride a bike, we're going to do the whole balancing thing again. But I thought about how many times he's going to learn how to fall. You have to learn how to fall. That's my thing for this week. When you get on a bike and whenever you do anything, you're going to fall. Falling down is a thing. You have to learn how to fall. You're going to fall numerous times and you have to be okay with falling. The whole idea of falling down and getting back up creates resilience, right? Resilience, getting back up is a thing. Once you learn how to fall, you're not scared of falling, right? You can get back on your bike and just learn how to ride. And then at that point in time, like it's learning how to control the bike. When you take that and put that analogy with life, whenever you go out and you do something, if we look at life being the bike and we have training wheels, everything that we go out, we do, the training wheels is the support, right? We go out here and sometimes the support looks like it's supporting us, but in all actuality, the trainer wheels really aren't doing anything for us. They are giving us a false sense of reality. Sometimes in life, it's okay to take off the training wheels. Me as a mom, when it was coming to training my son how to ride his bike, I didn't think he was ready for the training wheels to come off. Obviously, my cousin, at that point in time, he was not a parent. So everything that he used to do with my kids was irrational. And I didn't think it was responsible. But it was like, okay, he loves them and he never hurt them. And he's a boy. And this is what he's going to do. But in all actuality, taking off the training wheels was necessary. Sometimes we rely on things, support systems, and they actually hold us back. Because if we don't take off the training wheels, you're never really fully going to be able to learn how to ride a bike. You can definitely ride a bike with training wheels. However, how far can you get? And how silly will you look riding training wheels everywhere. And you don't have control of the bike. You can't do too many things. Sometimes you have to take off the training wheels. Learn how to fall. That's good for the person that is riding the bike. But for the person who is holding the bike up, balancing the bike, like the mom that's pushing you along, for us, you have to learn when it's time to let go. For me, learning when it's time to let go of that seat is the most terrifying thing because the last thing I want to do is see my child fall. Like, I don't want my kid to fall. I don't want him to hit the ground or scrape himself or lose confidence. So I want to hold on the whole entire time. I want to try and save him. I want to try and catch him. I want to try to make him balance, but you can't. Sometimes you have to let go. So for the person when you're learning how to help somebody train, sometimes you're in a situation, and I'm not even necessarily talking about riding a bike. It could be your relationship, it could be something that you're holding on to, getting over grief wise, a job, something new that you're doing. You have to learn to let go. Say you're looking for something, you can't ever get to the potential that you have to get to if you're holding on. And if you're helping somebody in a situation, it's also okay to let go because in that point, it's okay for them to learn how to fall. You're never going to learn how to ride a bike or never going to learn how to be successful if you're scared to take off the training wheels. In this situation, the training wheels definitely represent support. When I'm talking about support, you're thinking it is support, and we hold on to support for things that always aren't necessarily support. We have fake support. We have excuses. We have people that hold us up. We have expectations because what is supposed to happen? The training wheels are supposed to stop me from falling. Sometimes it's okay to remove the training wheels and learn how to fall. Once you learn the skill of riding a bike, that's something that nobody can ever take away from you. Think about it. We don't ride bikes every day, but I'm sure that if you got on a bike today, if you know how to ride a bike, you could probably ride that bike with ease. Why? Because you learned how to fall when you were younger, right? Falling is about resilience. Learning how to fall means once you get down, you have to get back up. In life, you're going to fall. If you ever want to succeed in anything, you can't ever be scared to fall, scared to scrape your knee. You'll heal. You'll be okay. The approach is different, but me and my cousin we had the same approach. I still had to balance Rainy, right? I still had to hold her up and be gentle with her. He had more of a rough approach where he was literally torpedoing my kid down the street. And I was just like, no, you can't do that to him. But did he fall? He sure did. He literally fell in the ditch one time. Like, Dominic, and if you're watching this, I hope you remember. Do you remember when you learned how to ride a bike? I personally remember when I learned how to ride a bike. It was the most beautiful feeling. Like, I felt like I was so accomplished because once you learn how to do that, nobody could take that away from you. Imagine how you felt when you were riding your bike for your first time without training wheels, how fast you could go, how many tricks you can go. Personally, never was one that could pop wheelies. I was never me. I never tried it. I'm not that adventurous, but I can ride a bike pretty fast. Learn how to fall. There's so many things in life that we don't know how to balance. We don't know how to let go, about letting go. And it's also about learning how to fall. You have to be the person to decide which one you need to do. Either you're the person that's supporting someone who's going through a struggle and learning something new or needs to fall. And that's not a bad thing. Like, letting somebody fall is not a bad thing. Sometimes you have to let them fall because you love them. You can't hold on forever because when you're holding on to something or holding on to somebody, you're actually holding them back sometimes. You're holding them back from their growth. You're holding them back from their success. So you got to let people fall. Clap for them, encourage them. Help them balance, but also let go. And for the person that's learning something new, don't be afraid to fall. Once you fall, that means you just have to get up. Every time you fall, you get back up stronger, you get back up more resilient. Just don't be afraid to fall. Hopefully, that message resonated with somebody. Think about how it was when you were younger and you learned how to fall and ride a bike. We're not just talking about riding bikes here. I want you to know that. That's the takeaway. The takeaway isn't learning how to ride a bike. It's learning how to be resilient. It's learning how to get up after you've been down. Learn how to fall, be comfortable with falling, but always remember to get back up. Learn how to let go. Be comfortable with releasing things that you need to release. It's okay. So, what I want you to do, number one, in this story here, this one, tell me happy birthday. I'm excited about my birthday. A whole nother year. It's so many people that don't make it this far in life. So I would like to celebrate myself and celebrate anybody. If today's your birthday, wherever you are, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to anybody. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate the growth that you've had. Celebrate the joys and the sorrows. Celebrate letting go. Celebrating getting back up. If you like this message, I want you to like it, share it, give it to somebody, leave a message in the comments about how you feel about it. Thank you for joining me for the Candace Effect. Thank you for always coming back. Thank you for all the love and support. Thank you also for understanding that I am a human being. And just like I give you guys advice about learning how to prioritize what needs to happen, learning how to appreciate life, learning how to just live, because that's what I kind of been doing. I needed to take a break for a second. I needed to kind of like get some fresh air. I needed to come and be around friends and be in a different environment. And that's where I am. When I get back home, I can't wait to show you guys where we're going to be filming. I can't wait to show you what my project looks like. I'm so excited about it. Thank you again for always coming. Thank you again for all your love and support. And until we meet again, peace. Be good to yourself.